Next, new insight into what's being called a hidden crisis in our communities. Police and victim services in the Guelph area are getting more reports about human trafficking. And as CTV's Colton Wiens tells us, they are urging everyone to be aware of signs that could help rescue someone.
All along Canada's busiest highway, local officials report a significant increase in cases of human trafficking.
Particular communities that are along the 401 corridor, in which Guelph is one of them, are at an increased risk for being sites where girls, predominantly, not exclusively, but young women and girls are moved around and are trafficked in the human trafficking trade.
Wellington Dufferin Guelph Public Health says the exact numbers are difficult to determine, but the criminals often have similar targets.
Sex workers are very commonly trafficked. It's not just them, though. It could be domestic workers, or it could be even the forced physical labor that might be seen on a farm, for example.
According to Guelph Police, over the last 2 years, there's been about a 50% increase in human trafficking related calls.
So I think it's important to realize that we don't believe necessarily that there's more human trafficking happening. We're just getting better at detecting it, and people are more comfortable coming forward and reporting it.
On Thursday, Waterloo Regional Police charged 3 men in a nearly year-long human trafficking investigation. Officials say this is not just a big city problem.
Victims get brought here, maybe spend a week or two, and then they're moved somewhere else, and they basically just travel back and forth along the 401.
Now, police are increasing the number of officers investigating these cases, but Dr. Mercer says victims are often exploited psychologically, and there are some very critical warning signs that everyone should be looking out for.
If you are a parent or you are a friend of, say, young girls, and all of a sudden you start to notice that they're a little bit more withdrawn, one of the other tips is that they may have a boyfriend that they don't want to introduce to the family. They all of a sudden start to have gifts, things that that they could not afford.
If you think you see someone in a human trafficking situation, contact police.
Call the number on human trafficking, and not be afraid to call your local police services, who may have background information, and that may be the clue that they need in order to intervene. So if you do see something, say something, but I would not approach the person who is doing the trafficking.
Colton Wiens, CTV News, Guelph.